Welcome back, everyone. I really appreciate that you guys follow along the videos. So if you haven't already noticed, I kind of think that these videos are like going through the manual, or the user manual of this human system, of this human being. How do you use this? So today, to add to that, we are going to embark on another chapter that talks about motivational systems. Okay, you see my little tool here. So we'll be talking about the threat system, the drive system, and of course, we'll be talking about the soothing system. So each of these systems, they are made of our body and our mind. So that means the neurological system in our human body is involved in each of these systems in different ways, and the hormonal system is also involved. And of course, our psychological system, our cognitive systems are also involved in different ways under each of these motivational systems. So what about the threat system? So this is one of the most well-developed and ready-to-go system that us humans have. So think about the time in the ancient evolutionary history. Those animals that responded by fight or flight whenever they hear some small noise, they were more likely to survive. So indeed, as humans, we kind of like now inherited those animals' genes that survived. So that means we are expert among experts of this fight or flight response that's operated under the threat system. So how does it manifest in human life or regular day-to-day activities? So think about this. Whenever you hear something, where does your mind go? You hear a cracking noise or a loud noise, where does your mind go? I bet a lot of us goes to, was it a gunshot? Or was it somebody banging on my door? Was it a bad person? And maybe there's also subtle experiences that are also triggered by or functioned based on the threat system. Such as, say, you're having a conversation with a colleague and they say, I beg your pardon. Ooh. And I bet sometimes we go to, oh, did I say something wrong? Oh, did I offend you? So, see, when our threat system is activated, we are more likely to interpret things as dangerous or conflicting or risky. So let's think about how the threat system may be showing up in the context of hoarding and cluttering. So I often hear clients say that they're worried about judgment. They're worried about how people perceive them. So if this resonates with you, think about it. If your threat system is quite highly activated, you interact with people underneath that, those surface interactions, underneath that, you're worried about whether they are judging you. So how is this going to help you connect? How is it going to make you feel safe in social context? How is it going to help you feel loved or even valuable as a person. So a lot of people tell me that they hold on to things because things won't betray them, things won't hurt them. And some people have told me having clutter at home is almost like a protection because I have too much stuff at home, so I cannot entertain people because I gotta figure out how to sort my things before I can make friends. So that's what this is doing, the threat system. How we look at things through the lens of threat. It keeps us behind the wall. So now let's look at the drive system. So this is the system that helped our animal ancestors achieve resources that are necessary to maintain their lives. For example, imagine the lion. It's the drive that kind of drives them to chase after a goat so that they have some food to eat. And think about monkeys. This is also the drive that kind of encourage them or push them to, like, for a male monkey to chase after a female monkey and vice versa. So for human beings, this is also quite present in our human system. So think about when we wake up in the morning, there's the drive to want to do something or want to eat something for breakfast. And think about achieving career goals or life goals. This is also what the drive system supports. So sometimes though, the drive system is kind of merged with the threat system. So that in that kind of scenario, we can be driving towards something because of fear. So a very common example that I hear when people with hoarding or cluttering issues are trying to make decisions about what to get rid of, what to keep. And sometimes that kind of thinking would activate the threat system because of fear of making mistakes, because of fear of losing the protection served by whatever item that they are considering. And so because of fear, a lot of times people then start to think about so many ways they could have used the item. So before they even consider getting rid of something, they've never looked at that item, maybe for years. But then as soon as they start to entertain the idea of letting go, all of a sudden, these things become so useful. They can make art with them, they can sell them, they can give it to somebody. So that's how the threat system and the drive system can sometimes be operating together. So lastly, let's look at the soothing system. So imagine the field. On the field, there are a bunch of cows, a bunch of sheep, and they are not looking for food. They are not trying to hide or escape. They are just resting, and they are calm. And the big cow is probably cuddling a little cow, and a bird may be flying by saying hi. So how does soothing look in the human day-to-day reality? So if you have a pet, when you are cuddling with pet, your soothing system is activated, most likely. Or if you have a loved one that you feel so connected with, if you are holding hands, taking a walk, most likely your soothing system is activated. Or if you enjoy doing something by yourself, like reading a book, listening to music, you're just hanging on your couch, enjoying an afternoon with nothing to achieve, your soothing system is most likely quite activated. So when I think about soothing, I think about being at ease, being at home in our heart. So there's nothing we need to prove, nothing we need to drive, nothing we need to hide from. Sometimes I hear misunderstanding about soothing. People can say, oh, I quote-unquote soothe myself by watching TV. Or I quote-unquote soothe myself by sleeping my worries away. So while those activities may get your troubles out of mind, they are different from the open and connected qualities of the soothing system. When the soothing system is activated, we will feel more expansive. We will feel relaxed. We will feel actually active rather than shutting down. So how can you use the different things that I just told you about these different motivational systems? One way you can use it is that next time when you realize that your chest is tight, you are not breathing, or you are entertaining ideas about what people think of you, what you think of them, then most likely you are in the threat system. So see, step one, if you can identify where you are in these different systems. So identify, yeah, maybe I'm right now in the threat system, or my threat system is the most activated system right now. If that is the case, step two, can I take deep breath to invite my soothing system to wake up? Can I think about compassionate thoughts, such as this person in front of me, just like me, they are a human being. They are afraid of judgment. They just care about wanting to be loved. And just like me, they suffer. Can we intentionally activate the soothing system and see that, how that can affect how we feel, how we respond to the situation? And similarly, next time when you are thinking about letting go of something and you start to get anxious. You start to worry about making mistakes, making the wrong decision. Step 1. Can you identify which of the 3 systems may be the most activated? And when you are then thinking about different ways you can use the items that you're thinking about getting rid of, you have all the creativities, you have all the drives. Step 1, recognize. It's the drive system and the threat system activated together. Then step 2, you know where this goes? Can you intentionally breathe? Take deep breath. Breathe, breathe. Think about how a compassionate person that you know in your personal life or you just know of. Imagine how the Dalai Lama, for example, may speak to you. How the Dalai Lama may speak to your threat system. Oh, you're worried about making mistakes? Everybody makes mistakes sometimes. And if you realize that later on you need that item, don't worry. I'm sure as wise as you are, as resourceful as you are, you will be able to figure something else out. And imagine the soothing or compassionate figure talking to your drive. Wow, those are very good ideas. Wow, you're so creative. How wonderful. But my concern is that, wow, look at all these things that you are having to go through making decisions about. I wonder if you have time for that. And I want you to be able to have time to rest and sleep and eat well. So, maybe you want to rethink about those creative ideas? So our goal here is to balance the 3 systems. In order to do that, we need to boost up the soothing system. That is because right now, for most people, these other 2 systems are already quite well developed and sometimes too ready to go. So we need to intentionally build up the soothing system. And we will continue to work on this in the next few videos with the exercises and with the tips and tools that I will introduce. So we want these 3 circles, 3 systems, to be in similar sizes, and we also want flexibility, which means when there is real danger, we have the threat, protect us. We have the threat system here. But when there is no need for it, we want it to be able to go back. And similarly, for drive system, when we need it to achieve goals, we want it on, and we want these systems to be the supportive roles. But when we don't need it, we want it to step back. And likewise, we want the soothing system to be able to activate when what we want is building connection and safeness. So let's talk more in the next video.